Welcome back, everybody. It is April 13th, 2018. That's Friday the 13th, 6:43 a.m. You're looking at this orange area here. These are official blizzard warnings for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different states, and I believe that even includes North Dakota here. We have North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas is involved. We have the northern eastern edge of Colorado. We have parts of Minnesota and then also Iowa involved, and that is going to move west to east across the Great Lakes. This is a major snowstorm, guys. This is Winter Storm Xanto, which was named, I believe, on the 11th, not yesterday. I put Winter Storm in the thumbnail. I didn't realize it was actually named at that point. I did know it was the next name on the list, and then we have Y and Z. So we may possibly be completing the entire alphabet this winter. You're looking at a GIF file of the movement of this storm. The storm is in blue. You can see it's covering a lot of the upper plains areas, and then as it moves to the northeast, the jet stream begins to lift and it turns into more of a rain event, which is going to bring possibly hurricane force winds to the eastern coast of the U.S. And that will be later on in the week around Monday, Tuesday, but right now we're dealing with a massive snowstorm. And you can also see there's lightning going on, so we could be dealing with thunder snow as well. This may be that borderline between the rain and the snow. It actually may be, that's what I'm thinking that is there, and that's why we're seeing the lightning, excuse me. We also got a big lightning event going on in the central northern areas of Texas as well as Oklahoma. That, I believe, is going to be moving west to east in an up motion. These two areas are going to meet, and it's going to be a big nor'easter shape by the time it gets to the northeast. Now, I brought up some accumulations for you guys. Actually, let's look at how this storm is actually blowing up. If I back up, this chart goes over a few hours. It's 1757 UTC time when we get the first frame, and then it's current time, which would be 1037 22 UTC, which is equivalent to 6:40 or 6:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So as you can see, I want you to watch right in this area. Sorry, that's a dropped frame. Right in this area here, South Dakota, Nebraska, we got Iowa and Wisconsin. You're going to see this storm just explode, and that's due to the jet stream dipping down and all this moisture that we're seeing here that is forming in these areas begins to freeze, and that is why we're having these snow warnings and this snowstorm that is going on. I can't believe we're into X right now. But you can see the orange color here. Orange is blizzard warning, so that is, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 states. This is going to move over the Great Lakes. I do have some accumulation maps pulled up for you. This is between now and April 18th. Now look at the amount of snow that is expected to fall between now and then. We have areas that are between 18 and 20 inches in South Dakota. We have the same thing going on in Minnesota. Moving west, or east rather, into Wisconsin, and parts of Michigan will also see snow amounts of that crazy number. And then as we move into northern areas of New York, the east-north areas, we move into those yellow colors, 8 to 10 inches possibly, up in the Adirondacks, sorry. And then we have Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine, which also will get touched by the snow. But as you can see, it's moving west to east. Sorry, that's the earthquake gap. Moving west to east over the Great Lakes, and then it gets kind of pulled up into Canada, right over top of Nova Scotia, and then out into the Atlantic Ocean, where hopefully it just disappears. But with this is coming a spring storm as well. The low pressure begins here, and as it moves west to east, it's going to be drawing up that moisture from the Gulf. We all know that because we've been talking about it for days now. As I move forward here, this is the 14th, which is when we're going to see that low pressure system beginning to draw moisture through Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma. That's when Oklahoma needs to be on watch for tornadoes, because this upflow of the wind with a cross west to east shear wind, that is where tornadoes form. This entire area is the big tornado area in the U.S. So as we move forward, look at the size of these storms. So we have Winter Storm Xanto dropping blizzard conditions and over a foot of snow in the northern plains, and then we have the low pressure system, and then from Louisiana up through Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, and even Indiana is involved in this. By the 14th, that's tomorrow, about midday, we're going to be dealing with tornado warnings for sure. And again, that is why the lightning is beginning here. You can see some of that moisture and warm air is already being drawn up. The low pressure, I want to say, is about right here. At this time, it's going to flow this way, and then it's going to move up the east coast, but it's going to draw up all this moisture, and that is why we may see hurricane force winds in the Carolinas. Now, I'm going to show you that again really quick before I let you go. This is Xanto sky set for Monday the 16th. You can see we are already pushing 68, 67 miles an hour, and this is ground level. This isn't 10 or 100 meters up, 500 meters up. This is basically 30 feet tops off the ground, and we're showing 70 plus mile an hour winds already, gusts of over 70. I'm sorry, sustained about 68, 67. And you can see this is an upflow coming from the Caribbean now. It begins in the Gulf and then passes over Florida. Florida, you will be involved in this as well. But then the Carolinas is what seems to be hit the hardest with the wind factor. But we got to keep in mind the low pressure being centered over New York. There's going to be a lot of wind going on in the northeast. That includes New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island. All the coastal states are going to be dealing with the wind, and that just goes to show that these low pressure systems are no joke, and that's why we get nor'easters from them. And this does take the shape of a nor'easter. You can see we got that 9 symbol. The only thing is it doesn't hang out over the coast too long. That's what we need to look out for. But we can see right here is the day beginning Monday, April 16th is what we want to watch out for the Carolinas. Big stretch of strong storms going through Virginia, the west areas of West Virginia. We got Delaware in there, and then central PA is going to get slammed with this storm. A lot of rain, a lot of accumulation, so we got to keep an eye on that. All right, guys, I hate to cut this short. Got to get to work. I just wanted to touch base on Winter Storm Xanto and also the fact that we could be dealing with hurricane force winds as a spring storm as early as Monday the 16th. Stay safe, everyone. I'll be back later on this afternoon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.